4 of the kidnapped civilians from 2 weeks ago have been released by Hamas. Not many will have experienced what 85-year-old Dafydd Lifshitz experienced. Taken on a motorbike into Gaza, her daughter translates her story.
There they walked for a few kilometers on the wet ground. There are a huge network of tunnels underneath. It looks like a spider web.
There is political focus to avert more bloodshed. Emmanuel Macron arrived in Tel Aviv. His first meeting was with Israeli French families. And before meeting President of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, he met Israel's President, Isaac Herzog.
This is an awful crime to play with these lives of children, adults, all people, civilians and soldiers.
Meanwhile, aerial bombing of the Gaza Strip goes on. 704 are reported killed in the past 24 hours. The latest footage shows how much parts of Gaza has been devastated. Makeshift refugee camps are at best inadequate, without basic needs to cater for families.
I use bottled water to try to clean everything. The children's hands, their bodies, at least to get the sand off. I can't even bathe my children. I don't have water. I don't have space to wash them. I can't find clean clothes. I don't have clean floors for them to sit on. I worry about their health. They cough and their nose runs at night. My oldest son has asthma.
The constant threat of airstrikes and the waiting to see if this war intensifies, should Israeli tanks and troops enter the Gaza Strip on the ground, make it harder for the authorities to help ordinary people.
The crowding of civilians and the fact that most schools are now housing a large number of people is the prime breeding ground for disease to spread, like problems with stomach disease, lung infections, skin rashes, and this is what we've seen in most of the patients coming into this hospital for treatment.
As diplomats and leaders shuffle between both sides to encourage a temporary ceasefire at least, Israel's reservists are still camped on the Gaza border.
We have long weeks of fighting ahead of us, and we will act at the most suitable operational timing and according to political instructions.
The focus in the past 2 weeks have been mostly on the suffering in Gaza, and in Israel on the deaths of 1,400 Israelis and the more than 200 hostages. But there's deep concern that protests in the West Bank and military incursions by Hezbollah in Lebanon could trigger a much wider conflict. Iolo, Dafydd, CGTN.